Hey friends, welcome back to my channel for my second video. I'm really excited to have you here because today we're making pasta. I think noodles, if you're a human being that is living and breathing, are very important in your life. They are in mine, I like to think. Not only did I live off of them as a kid, especially the ramen noodles and like I used to call them cup of noodles. My great-grandfather James came over from Italy when he was really little, and I think that really influences my interest and love for Italian food. So today we're going to be making fresh homemade pasta, and it's going to be amazing. Also, I wanted to kind of, leave this to be like a chill situation. I wanted to kind of talk to you about my journey as a vegan and my life journey. So let's get started. Here is our setup for the day. I have my pasta maker, which is not necessary if you guys want to make this at home. You can use a rolling pin instead. And also, I apologize if you hear my cat meowing in the background. She likes to be very vocal, so that's what that is if you hear that. I also have a food processor. This is also not necessary, but makes life a lot easier, as you will see in a second. And in my food processor, I have 1 cup of whole wheat flour and 2 cups of semolina flour. And the recipe that I'm using today is from this amazing cookbook called the Vegan Pantry. The Homemade Vegan Pantry. It is by Miyoko Schinner. I think I'm saying that right. And it's her 15-minute rustic pasta recipe. It's super easy. Like it says, 15 minutes. So it's my go-to when I'm making pasta at home. So, like I said, we're starting out with 1 cup of whole wheat flour, 2 cups of semolina flour, and we're gonna mix that up. Now, with it running, I'm going to drizzle in 1 cup of water. I might need more because we're using wheat flour instead of regular flour. So, hi guys, this is my cat Lily. She's very vocal and she demands attention 24/7. Isn't that right? But she's the sweetest thing ever. So, as I was saying, while this is running, we're going to drizzle in 1 cup of warm water to get it going, and then after that, we'll leave it running for 30 seconds to knead it. And this is why having a food processor makes life so much easier, because otherwise, if you're mixing this in a bowl, you would have to knead it by hand. And I'm not about that life, okay? I like, my wrists not to hurt. So, we are going to start this. Okay, I think it's looking a little dry, so I'm going to add a little bit more water. We want it to kind of come together in like one singular ball. Okay, so we have our pasta dough ready to go. Just going to set this over here. But first it has to rest for 15 minutes. As you can see, we have like a ball of dough that's come together pretty well. And for the pieces that did not come together, I'll just smush it on there. And I'm going to make a nice little dough ball, kind of knead it into a little circle. And then flatten it out. Like so. And we're going to cover it with a towel for 15 minutes. Alexa, set a timer for 15 minutes.
15 minutes, starting now.
So handy. While we're waiting for the pasta to rest for 15 minutes, we got about 10 minutes left. First, I wanted to start with how I quit my job and why I quit my job. So about a year and 3 months ago, I quit a job that I had no passion for and no love of being there. It was really hard to even wake up in the morning and go to work. Almost to a point where my body was physically getting ill because I was going against what I was meant to do. My body was telling me, stop it, stop trying to push through, stop trying to make this work, it's not working. And then that's when I put my 2 weeks in, because I realized I can't keep doing this. I can't keep going against what I believe and what I feel like is my calling. So that's when I put my 2 weeks in, and literally the moment that I did that, I felt instant euphoria. It was crazy, how connected I felt to everything I was doing, and how I felt like I was always in the right place at the right time. It was insane, those 2 weeks, even while still working the job, because I knew I was finally doing something for myself. And mind you, I quit without having a job or an idea in the pipeline for doing this. I knew that I had to do this. I knew that I had to quit. So that happened. And in between then and now, I dabbled with some doing freelance graphic design. Still do that, but I had this idea to start this channel. It came to me, the Vegan Ohioan, and I just kept putting it off, chilling, learning some new stuff, doing some research on some other things, taking the time to play and just educate myself on different subjects. But I realize now, looking back, that time, even though I wasn't I was kind of meh, dilly-dallying around, it was so important to take time to relax and take time to breathe, because that's what I really needed. Before that, I was going job to job to job, no break in between, always go, go, go. And I thought that's what I was supposed to do. That's what I'm told to do by society and all the people that I've seen successful. But yeah, it wasn't for me. And taking the time to relax and do that was the biggest change in my mindset, I would say, because I learned to not only take time for myself, but make it purposeful and not beat myself up for taking the time, and also not take too much time where I'm holding off my dreams. But what really helped me in that learning period is what I like to call it. My friends and my family and my husband were so supportive. I can't even imagine and what I would do without them. And also, I followed a lot of inspiring people on social media and YouTube. For example, Lavender, her YouTube is fantastic. She has this whole series called Artist of Life, and she's just really phenomenal, and I love it. Another one is Pickup Limes. She is super amazing. Not only is she vegan, not only does she have a ton of recipes, most of her earlier videos were about self-help and thinking and reflecting, and those two kind of give me a kick in the butt that I really needed to, stop living a lie. And I also want to touch on the fact that I'm vegan. Veganism in itself is going against the grain and kind of doing your own thing. And me working at a job felt like I was lying to that part of myself where I had to stay true to myself. So veganism kind of really influenced me that way as well, and hopefully it will for you too if you choose to become vegan if you're not already. But yeah, I just wanted to touch on that and have a chat with you guys about, you know, really following your passion. Like, sit and think, what is it that you daydream about all day long while you're working at the job that you hate? Like, why are you not doing that thing? Go ahead and do what it takes to make it happen. Okay, so this pasta is about to be ready. We got a couple minutes left. Today I'm making 2 different versions of pasta. This is probably really bad that I consider myself Italian and I don't know how to say this. I think it's farfalle. Anyways, we're making that, you know, the little bow tie pastas. I'm going to do an experiment with those. I wanted to dry the pasta and then turn it into the farfalle and then use that at a later date. But tonight we are making cauliflower Alfredo pasta with asparagus, and that is from the How Not to Diet cookbook, Dr. Michael Greger's new cookbook that just came out last year in December. The timer is about to go off. This bad boy, and it's gonna be really delicious. I'm sorry. Okay, so I realized I recently started watching, my husband and I finished the series New Girl, and if you have ever watched it, you know Jess likes to sing words and sentences, and when they said that that character did that in the show, I was like, oh my god, I do the same thing. So I'm sorry if I well, I'm not sorry, but I'm just warning you that I'm going to be like making weird like singing words, so that's going to happen. Anyways, I'm making this tonight for dinner, and we're going to make the fettuccine. Well, it says linguine, but we're going to be making some thicker noodles, because who doesn't like a thick noodle? So yeah, we're making fettuccine with the other half of the pasta. So let's get started. So our pasta baby has been resting for 15 minutes, and I have a couple tools here that will make my life easier. Like I said, I already have the pasta maker ready to go. I also have this tool. It is a pasta cutting tool. It can do ravioli, basically whatever you want. It has this cool jagged edged one, I guess, and then a straight one depending on what kind of pasta you want. This is also not necessary, but I thought it would be cool to do the little jagged edges on the edges of the farfalle. And then I also have my handy dandy knife and some white flour. The recipe in the cookbook does say that you can use the semolina flour for dusting, but I find it to be too gritty. Like, I'm not about that. So I'm going with white flour for dusting the surfaces to keep everything from sticking. First, we are going to start by cutting our pasta baby, into 4 quarters. So we got 4 pieces. We'll start with the first one, and then make sure you cover up the rest with your towel so they don't dry out. And then I like to shape this into kind of like a rectangle just so the shape is cleaner once it goes through the pasta roller. And also, this recipe is great because it's something to do when you have a little extra time, and it's a nice like way to, it's almost like a meditation for me. That's what pasta making is. It's a meditation. You're just focused on the task at hand. Your little mind is not going in every which direction, and it just makes you focus on what you're doing in the moment and being present. That's what I love about pasta. So if you need a moment like that in your life, I recommend that you make your own homemade pasta. It is totally worth it, not only for your mind, but also for your taste buds, because it's delicious. You will never want to go back to dried pasta after you make this stuff. At least that's how I feel. So right now I'm just flattening it out a little bit to help the little pasta machine here. We're gonna start at 1 and keep going to the number 6 setting. So every pass through, I like to switch which side went through the last time. And that creates a more even shape. Sheet. Okay, so next I'm going to lay this on my cutting board. I like to use a cutting board rather than my countertop because I don't want to scratch it all up. So first I'm going to cut this in half. And it's already larger than my cutting board, but that is okay. We're going to make it work. Alright, let's start with one piece. Next, I'm gonna flour it up. I'm gonna decide the width of each of these guys to be right here. So I'd say that's about 2 inches in width. And so we're gonna go through and cut the width. Next, I'm going to use our smooth side and cut little squares. Onto the second half of that piece. This is what we have for the bow tie, farfalle, however you say it. We have a whole table full. And there's our little testers up here. It's gonna be so cute when it's done. All right, moving on to the fettuccine, which probably I would say is my top 10 favorite pasta shapes. I don't know if I've had more than 10, but it's between, my top 2 is probably fettuccine and cavatappi. If we're talking about favorites, you know. Today's all about noodles. Alright, so we're going to do the same process as the farfalle, getting it through the pasta maker as thin as we can, but not too thin. I do like a thicker pasta noodle, but you know, you could do it to your preference. Now we are going to lightly just fold these in half on top of themselves. And we're going to cut them. I like to use my knife to cut fettuccine. So just choose your thickness, whatever you like, and start chopping. have our noodles for tonight's dinner. Super excited to eat these. I hope you guys had fun today making pasta with me and having a little chit chat about your dreams and your hopes for the future. Go ahead and comment down below and let me know what your favorite pasta shape is. Like I said, mine is between fettuccine and cavatappi. Also comment below and let me know what dreams you want to pursue and what you believe is holding you back. And if you want to see what dinner looks like when it's finished, go ahead and follow me on Instagram. I will be posting it there. And also follow up on the farfalle bow tie pastas. I'm hoping to make mac and cheese with those, so we'll see if they come out good. But yeah, go ahead and follow me on Instagram. It's the Vegan Ohioan. Alright, that's all for me today. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit the like button if you like what you see here. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single video, and I will see you soon.